Hoop Dreams, the podcast, an Unlearning Network production.
Well, joining us today on the Hoop Dreams podcast is the second overall pick in the 1998 NBA draft, NBA All-Rookie First Team.
Yeah.
Played an incredible 14 seasons in the league. Won an NCAA championship with the Arizona Wildcats. Pac-10 Player of the Year. First Team All-American. McDonald's All-American. 1996 Mr. Basketball USA. And I believe, Agee believe, future Hall of Famer. He's just waiting on the call.
That's it.
Joining us today, none other than himself, Mr. Mike Bibby. I'm Will Gates, and that's my dog,
Arthur Agee.
Man, welcome to the show. So glad to have you with us today.
I appreciate you guys having me on. I'm fans of you.
Man, you a big fan of ours, man. We watched you, man. It's just crazy just to see what how your NBA career turned out, man. Very, very distinguished.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Mike, we're just going to jump into this thing, man. Hit you with this first question. Again, welcome to the show, but when was the first time that you saw the movie Hoop Dreams, and do you remember where you were at?
Might have been the rookie transition. I think they might have showed us. I'm not sure if they showed it there or not. I know I was a kid. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it was a long time ago, but I remember, I've seen it a few times. I tried to show, to our kids that I coached, the high school team I coached, I showed it to them and just try to spread the word that it's not as easy as everybody thinks it is. And, the top two guys that you were, guys coming out, things get in the way, grades, injuries and stuff like that. So, you got to take everything serious. And, I just wanted to show them that movie just to show them that nothing's guaranteed.
So, Mike, when you saw it, and again, you was young when you saw it, did you look at it and go because, you saw us like yourself, like, damn, like, is this movie going to impact me going forward? Like, I want to keep some things from this movie as I move forward on my basketball journey.
I think it did, because like I said, there was stuff that you had to look back. There's a lot of great players out there, a lot of good players that, things get in the way. Like you said, grades, injuries, and people pass people by. Yeah. And you never just want to put all your eggs into one basket.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up, I knew that was a lot better than a lot of kids that I was going against. But I still kept a level head and worried about getting hurt or worried about my grades not being there. Because it could happen. Like I barely passed my SAT. I needed 700 back then. I think I got a 720. So I slid in there. Thank God I never really had no serious injuries that, ever let me get to where I wanted to get to.
Yeah, Will knew about that SAT, right? Or was it the ACT
Absolutely,
with you, Will?
Man. Absolutely.
You took the ACT?
Yeah, we took the ACT. That's more of a Midwest thing. They make you take that ACT.
When we was coming out, I think, what was the number we had to get, Will? Was it 17 or 18?
You had to get an 18 when we was coming out.
You had to get an 18 on the ACT to go into college.
What's the highest you could get on that?
32.
Okay.
And the geniuses was getting 21s, 25s, 26s. I was so scared of the damn test, Mike, I ain't even take it.
I feel that.
So the 18 was equivalent to your 700.
See, but what made it easy for me is because my grade, I had good grades. I had I had a 3.1.
Oh.
So if you're above a 2.8, you could get the lowest score possible. And a lot of guys, like I coached the high school for 6-7 years. A lot of the guys don't understand, take care of your grades, you could get the lowest score possible. So now they don't. Now they have to end up getting a 1,300, 1,200 on the test, which is almost impossible. And, like I said, I've been through all that whole situation and, I know what it's like to be a kid and tell these kids, hey, get your work done. The teachers will love you. You guys are good in basketball. Be a good guy. Be a good kid around campus. And teachers will take care of you.
Yeah.
Whether you're not doing the great. A lot of kids don't turn their work on time. You be nice to the teacher. Ask for extra credit and stuff like that. It's easy that way. The kids I had, I'm looking at their grades like, are y'all even going to school? You know what I mean? So, but it shouldn't be that hard. And like I said, it puts you in situations to succeed. I mean, there's only so far I could take you, but I'm going to put you in situations to succeed. If you don't want to succeed, that's on you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Mike, man, you had such an illustrious career, man, but we want to go back. Our show's a little bit different, man. We want to go back to the beginning. Growing up in Arizona, tell us about, man, how you grew up, how you get to Phoenix. Tell us about your childhood, brother, sister, family life. Walk us that path.
I was born in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. I think my dad was either playing for the 76ers or the Knicks. It was one of those teams, but we were driving back to either one of those places. And I think we might have been going to New York, and we had to stop in New Jersey for me to be born. And then once I was born, we went back to either Philly or New York. I don't even know which one it is, but we moved out here probably when I was two or 3 years old, and been here ever since. You know, my whole family's out here, aunts, uncles, cousins, brother, everybody's out here, my mom, everybody's out here, and just been here. You know, it's a family-oriented thing that we have, and just everybody's here. We've been here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're a close-knit family, everybody. My mom has 6 sisters and 3 brothers. They're all out here. So I got 50 cousins.
Wow.
And, you know, stuff like that. So there's a lot of stuff going on here. So I've been out here ever since, and, you know, been playing sports. I played baseball, football, basketball growing up. I knew basketball was for me. Baseball was too slow. Baseball was too boring for me. I played baseball till probably like 7th grade. I was done. But football, I played my freshman year, and then I landed on my neck one practice, and I figured that's enough of that for me. I'm gonna stick to basketball, and I stayed with basketball. It's a funny story because all my friends were on the freshman team. So my first day of school, you know, the coach coached my uncle, he coached my cousin, so he's been there for a while, and you know, he talks to me, he says, "Mike, I want you at varsity practice tonight." You know, I'm 14 years old. You know, I can't drive. You know, I mean, all my friends. So I told him, I said, "I don't think my mom wants me to play." I got home, my mom brought me up to practice, and I started varsity practice when I was a freshman.
Damn.
I didn't play that much. I didn't play that many minutes. I got, coach, he played a platoon kind of thing to where, you know, 5 in, 5 out, and I was like the last man on the roster. I ended up playing a few games. I had one game where I scored in the regional final. I had like 21, and then, you know, he realized like maybe I should be playing this kid, and, you know, I started getting in ever since then. And I mean, it was a great situation. We got to play a high up-tempo offense. You know, remember Paul Westhead?
Yeah.
For the Loyal Marymount. So we kind of ran his offense. So we were probably averaging like 98 points, 99 points in high school back then.
Damn.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so I mean, we'll full court press, shoot whatever you want, and just full court press all game, try to get you tired. And, you know, I mean, like the numbers jumped out because I averaged probably, I think, 3 points a game when I was a freshman, and to 23 to 35 to 35. So, I mean, it kind of ups your numbers.
Yeah.
Makes you look good.
Yeah.
But I think that kind of got me out there averaging that much for 2 years.
That's crazy. So playing, 14 years old, you coming up on varsity, you're not starting yet. Was the other players on the team looking at you kind of side-eye like, man, I hope he ain't bringing this dude up here to take my spot?
No, because my cousin and my brother was at the school already, so they knew about me. They knew I was coming in. You know, I've seen them over at my cousin's houses, my brother's house, and they'll come over the house. I've seen a lot of them, you know, growing up.
Okay.
So, you know, they kind of took me under the wing. You know, like I said, I wasn't really playing that much, so there was no sense that I was going to take any spot because, I mean, he was playing the older guys. And, you know, coming into the next season, you know, we had to talk with the coach, like, if the platoon happens, I probably won't be back. So 4 people were getting platoon instead of 5. So I got to stay in the game and play and do what I had to do. So, you know, I mean, like I said, he coached my uncle, so he knew what he had coming in, I think. And, I mean, he took care of it and let do with what we needed to do.
How did you get introduced to the game? I mean, obviously, we know your dad was a great player, but did he introduce you in the game? Was it your brothers who introduced you?
I was just around the game my whole life. You know, since I was a baby growing up, I was just, you know, you always see pictures of me in Nerf hoop, Nerf basketball. Wherever we went, I had a basketball. And, I mean, I think on that, everybody who grows up wants to be like their dad. I see my dad playing basketball. So, I want to be out there on the court too. So, I mean, I think that's where I picked it up. So, ever since I could hold the ball, I had one.
Hey, man, I used to watch some of your dad games on Classic, NBA Classic, right? He was a little tough little Afro SOB, man. He ain't take no junk out there, bro. For real. He was,
I know he
man,
did.
he was a little guard. I say, what he was about? I mean, 5'10", 5'11", 6'1".
No, they say he's 6'1".
But he looked shorter when he was out there, man. But he balled out.
Yeah, he played good. I mean, I told him he was very fundamental. I know that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, but everybody played very fundamental back in the day. But I told him, I seen him get in the fight, Daryl Dawkins and
what?
And the guy from Philly, not him. No, he was on the team. It was Daryl Dawkins fought the guy from the Blazers. I forget what his name is. Well, it was a big fight, and I seen him out there. I was watching it. Like, that's the first time I seen it. I was like at a restaurant, and I see him trying to get in the middle. I'm like, you better get your little ass up out of there. Between those two guys.
Wow.
So, That's right.
Yeah, I mean, but I think he was a pretty good player. He played with some superstars. Dr. J, Maurice Cheeks, Steve Mix. I mean, he had good teams when he played, and even in New York with Walt Frazier, Willis Reed, and stuff like that. Phil Jackson. So he played with a great group of guys, and so he kind of was a role player. I thought to where he did what he had to do. Make jump shots and be pesky and stuff like that. So
yeah.
What was that like, man, with you and your brothers growing up, battling in the house? What was that like?
I mean, we used to make games out of everything. We put our comforters on our shoulders, and now we're playing football. That was our shoulder pads. So I mean, we made the best. I'm the youngest boy.
Oh, okay.
So I kind of got roughed up good. They were kind of roughed me up good, but I think that's what made me tougher and made me the guy I am today, being with those guys.
See you and Will got that in common too.
Yeah, man. My brothers used to beat me up all the time, man.
That's what they do, though. All the older siblings they have to. If they don't, that's why the younger people are usually the ones that are more successful, because they take the head whoopings.
I tell both of y'all, I ain't had no older brother. I had an older sister that dogged me, man. She used to beat me up, man. She the one made me. She the one got me to playing the game of basketball, not my daddy.
Yeah, I mean, shit. I mean, as long as it makes you tougher, that's all you can really ask for.
I know
you know what I mean? So whether you like it or not, I mean, as long as it makes you tougher, I mean, it's all unconditional love. I think they rough you up. I mean, just like I said, that's what siblings do. So you take it with a heart of gold.
Right now, you out of Arizona. And we know the game is started on the playgrounds. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where we learn to play at, to go up against the older guys. And in Chicago, we got our courts and stuff out here. Give us some of the names and places of the gyms that you would go and get games at when you was younger coming up.
I don't even know it. I mean, the names are probably changed by now. I don't know. I can't even tell you the names. But I mean, we drive one park. We'll play one park. They get done playing there. We'll drive. I mean, we're playing all the time. And that's what I don't think guys do today is play enough. I mean, they might go to the gym and find a pickup game here and there. But as far as like go to the park and wait for a game, and you're playing against 40-year-old men and stuff like that. They don't. I don't think they do enough of that today. And I think that's what was so different. But from now back then is just how tough everybody was. You fall in that concrete. A lot of kids don't fall in the concrete like we used to. You know what I mean? You used to play on a little court, lower the hoop, and all that stuff. I remember I got my son like a adjustable hoop to go out, put outside by the driveway. And I was like, look what you got. You and your boys could, playing junk on each other. He's like, where you going to put it? I was like, in the driveway. He was like, outside? What you mean outside? Outside.
That's right.
He paid it no mind. Because I got a gym in my house, so I got a 3-basket court in my house. So he was probably looking like I got one inside. I'm definitely not going outside. Right. It's 112 today. A lot of people don't go outside.
This is the thing about playing outdoors, and this was about having a chip on your shoulder. Like you said, if you had to wait for a game and you knew the guys had their team stacked, you played that much harder to get their ass
Mhm.
off because you know if you lost, you wasn't getting back on for another 3-4
Yeah.
games. Am I right, Will?
Oh, absolutely.
And I mean, like I said, like I used to 14, 15 years old, I was at the park, you know what I mean? Playing against grown men and stuff like that. We were trying to find a game any way we could, you know, every night of the day, you know, outside, whatever. When we're done there, let's go to find a
Right.
inside gym to where we could play. It was just, I always played, whether it was bullshitting around on a 8-foot hoop with my boys or going to the park and playing, you know, for hours at night throughout the night.
So let me ask you this, Mike. We all had that guy in the neighborhood, man, that we had to overcome. For me, it was this guy named, they called him Shaky Sean. We called him Sheik. Who was that guy that you said, man, I got to get over the hump with this guy here? Who was that for you?
We played everywhere. I mean, we weren't even in our parts of town, you know. So we'd go to the rough parts of town. I didn't grow up in a rough part of town. You know, I didn't. But we would go to find games. And my brother knew everybody. So my oldest brother is 10 years older than me, so he knew everybody in the hood and you know the stuff. So I was able to go and do what I wanted to do wherever I wanted because my brother was good. So we just found places. There was no one really that I would play it against that we played like that time. Like I said, Chicago's probably different than Arizona. You know what I mean? There were very few. It's like I said, it's 112 out today. You ain't gonna find many people out playing at the park. You know what I mean?
That's right.
I mean, there wasn't really somebody I had to overcome. We just found places to play, whether people were there or not. We was playing against whoever they put in front of us.
That's what's up.
I know that's right. Absolutely.
Did you have a nickname growing up?
My mom used to call me Muck. That's about it. No one really called me a nickname. It was just my name, Mike.
Yeah. Nobody.
You know, my grandmother called me.
Nobody played against you in Gage, right?
No Ice Mike.
Get out of here.
Like I told you, Chicago, you don't get nicknames out here. Like back then when I was playing, there was not they didn't really give Arizona any play because it's from Arizona. You know what I mean? So, you know, when I'm coming down to high school, man, they got a kid from Arizona. Ain't nobody in Arizona could play.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's how it always was out here. So, I mean, very few ahead of me that came from here. I mean, it's a handful probably, you know, like Fat Lever, Sean Elliott, stuff like that. But like, I'm one of those early guys that came out here. You know, there was more after me, Jared Bayless, Channing Frye, Richard Jefferson. I mean, you go down the line, but I was kind of one of the earlier guys. So, I mean, there's no nicknames for me.
Is Byron Scott from there too? Because I know he went to Arizona State, right? University.
He went to Arizona State, but I'm not sure if he was born here or not or lived here. I'm not sure about that. But like I said, when I was playing, if you weren't from New York, Chicago, or California, you couldn't play.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
So that's growing up. That's how it was. So I mean, I'd always go out there with nothing to lose and figured, you know what I mean? Shit, no one thinks we could play anyway. Let's go out there and do it.
I like that.
You know what I mean? So
I like that though. So man, you went to Shadow Mountain High School. What was your high school days like? What was the vibe? What was going on?
We were okay basketball team back then. Like I said, probably my senior year, we got to like, I think 15th in the country. I had one other kid that went to Oregon State. It was okay. I mean, it's different than it is today. When I was there, it wasn't a lot of black people there, to put it that way. But now, I mean, now it's like it's almost filled with it. You know, my kids go there. I don't know if you've seen my high school when I was coaching, but our whole team was almost black.
Wow.
You know what I mean? When I was playing,
I saw it.
It's probably like one or two. Me and another guy. You know what I mean? So I mean, but it's growing into a spot where, you know, 14 of the 15 kids are black. So it's changed that much.
Talk about that for a little bit, because, you know, both Agee and I, man, you know, I was at St. Joe's for 4 years. Agee was there for a couple of years, man. But talk about being, you know, the black kid in the white school.
You know, I mean, there was racist stuff out there. You know, I mean, no one really said it to our faces or anything like that. But you know what was around there at that time. I mean, I don't know if I got treated different because I played basketball or whatever, but I mean, it wasn't hard. I mean, like I said, I grew up with white people, black people, Mexican people. You know what I mean? So I grew up in all types of things. It wasn't just I'm in this area, only white people around me. You know what I mean? So I was still versatile to where I was around everybody. So, I mean, it wasn't as bad as growing up there. And like I said, it might have been like Chicago is different than here. You know what I mean? Like if you see 2 black kids in Chicago at a white school, it's probably going to be hell for them.
Yeah.
It wasn't as bad as I can remember. It wasn't that bad. There was still racist stuff out there at that time.
Now break it down for our viewers and our listeners to make them understand how the seat, how your school was. Like, was it a 2A, a Class A? Like, was y'all Shadow Mountain? Was y'all playing against some of the best other talent in Arizona?
You talking about when I was playing or coaching?
No, when you was playing. When you was playing.
When I was playing, like out here, they only give you a certain amount of games to play outside of your state. So
Really?
we had to play everybody inside, but we were the biggest school. Back then it was 5A. 5A was the biggest. We played the biggest schools. I mean, we got to go to different tournaments because I was All-American. So we went to, there's a thing called the Beach Ball Classic. Kobe Bryant's team was there. Lester Earl's team, Jermaine O'Neal's team. So those type of tournaments, we always got put in there, but you're only allowed 2. So we went to that.
Wow.
We went to another tournament to where you get a few games in against people from the top teams from out of state. And I mean, it's a lot different than it is today, but they still put those guys in the same tournaments back then.
Did you make it your business to show out in them tournaments?
I had to, I put the ball in the basket. I did that. So I mean, we did the best we could. We like I said, we played up-tempo offense, full court press defense, and we scored the ball. We just hope that you didn't outscore us. That's the way we played.
Right.
Man, first of all, I would have loved to have played in that offense. Because when you told me that your team was getting up 98 points a game, I'm sitting there like, man, even today, I watched some high school games, halftime score be like 17 to 25.
Yeah. I don't, like I said, I coached, we averaged, this past couple years when I was coaching my high school, we averaged about 95, 96 points a game.
Damn.
I mean, like I said, we pick up full court. We had a lot of good players. You know what I mean? Like we have guys that, we're top 10 in the country for 2 years in a row.
Oh, yeah. Hillcrest is real deal.
No one over 6'5".
Hillcrest? Really?
What?
Wow.
So we go to Geico tournament. We're the only public school to be invited to the national tournament in New York. So we went there. No one over 6'5". We played against R.J. Barrett, Scotty Barnes, Vernon Carey, Mount Verse. We play all those schools, but we put them in games to play like that. Like they wanted to see we play against Sharif Cooper, Isaac Okoro. So I made sure that these guys, when they get to the next level, would have played in big games.
Yep.
So when that big game comes, they're used to it and they've done it before. So we traveled the country, for the last 2 or 3 years with that team.
That Hillcrest team, man, is phenomenal. Even
no, it wasn't even Hillcrest. It was my Shadow Mountain team.
This your Shadow Mountain team?
Yeah,
really?
Like I said, I had my nephew on there. He transferred. He went to Arizona State. Transferred to New Mexico this year. I had a guard, Javon Blacksher, that's at Grand Canyon University. They made our team go, and they were 4-year players. And they had one game. One of them had 17 steals. One game at the same game, the other guy had 19.
And what?
In one game.
We had 60 steals one game.
What? From these two dudes?
No, from the whole team. They had 36 between them, both of them. But we had 60.
Wow.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And
they're learning NBA stuff at the same time, you know what I mean? So, jump to the ball, rotate over, X outs. They're learning stuff. I would make sure that they learn stuff when they get to that next level. They'll be ahead of the 8 ball instead of behind. You get a lot of coaches that are coaching for a check, and I got to make sure I get my check. Right. I'm a teacher too, and stuff like that. So, I had nothing else to do. I made sure these kids got to where they need to get to.
I love it, man. So tell Agee and I, man, when did you as the player recognize that you knew you were better than the guys you was going up against?
Probably when I was like 9 or 10.
Wow.
I was so big. Like I grew fast. So maybe when I was like 10 years old, I played center on defense, but I had to guard the center on defense, but I brought the ball up the court. So that's how big I was.
You better stop that now.
I thought I was going to be like 6'5".
You what, man? You playing center, but you playing point guard on offense.
Yeah, I was number 53, so I was the biggest kid on the team, so I got number 53 with the biggest jersey.
Hey, you know what they did, Agee? They like, listen, what's the biggest uniform we got in here?
Get the bill. Get the bill.
I grew fast. Now my 10 years old, my hands are past my knees, my arms are past my knees, my hands are probably the same size they are now. But I grew fast. I grew a lot earlier than everybody else.
Man, that's crazy. So how tall are you?
I'm 6'2". I was probably 6 foot when I was a freshman. So I mean, they had me listed at 6'1", but I'm with shoes. I'm 6'1 3/4". Yeah. So I tried to get them to do it to 6'2", but they kept it the same as my college days. So they still kept it at that.
Now, did you play AAU?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, there was only one team out there, like one or two teams out here when I was playing back then.
Damn.
So that's what I'm saying. It was like you're on the Arizona Stars or you're on somebody else. I was on the Arizona Stars.
And there are thousands now out there. Thousands.
Way too much. And kids move from team to team. So we had the best kids in Arizona on the Arizona Stars. So everybody was playing on that team.
Wow.
Any of them guys on there, you remember they went on to do some different things?
Some of them went to college. None of them really, I don't think, like Richard Jefferson played on our younger team. Channing Frye played on our younger team. Jared Bayless, he might have been too young for the Arizona Stars, but I think those might be the only two that played on the Arizona Stars.
Man, that's amazing. So when did you start getting recruited? And what school started recruiting you? Like, all of us got that story. We got that first recruiting letter.
So the first recruiting letter I got was from Notre Dame. I was in 8th grade from Coach McLeod. I forget what his first name is, but curly hair, was at Notre Dame. That was my first letter. And, like the way I was like, wow, somebody wants me to come play for him. That's the way I was. I never really looked at myself like, hold my nose up against anybody, like walk around like I'm the man. I never did that. And, once these schools started recruiting, I was like, damn. I'm excited and proud. Like the work that I put in, I was excited. And, that's just the way I was. My mom taught me to be like that. My mom has never told me, after a game, it was never, oh, good job, you did this, great, you did. It was none, what you did wrong. My mom would always tell me what I did wrong.
This was Mom's?
And I got that to where everybody else is kissing my ass and telling me when I'm doing good. You need to hear what you need to get better at. And, I look back at it now like, okay, that helped.
And again, this was Mom's?
Yeah. My mom's tough.
That's what's up, Mom. That's what's up.
But she been through it all with my dad and stuff too already. Just stuff, knew what it took to get there. She'd drag me to work out. Mom, I don't want to go work out today. Come on, you're going to train. I'll go, jump rope, heavy rope, do, agility stuff. And, once she got me going, I was cool with it. But, I didn't really want to go. So, she pushed me and made my work ethic to like what it is today.
Talk a little bit to us about your mom, man, because I think a lot of people, and that's what makes the Hoop Dream story so amazing is, you look at Arthur's mom, you look at my mom. Mm-hmm. Talk about, man, just the importance of what Mom did for you.
It was great. We were struggling growing up, one outfit, for school, you get one pair of shorts, one T-shirt, you're wearing 3 times in 1 week and stuff like that, car 15 years old and then what the year is, no air conditioning. We were dying out here with no air conditioning in the cars. But she worked 2 jobs. She struggled for us to make sure we had what we need to have, even though we didn't have the money. And like I said, she pushed every single one of us to, be tough, stand up for yourself, do this. And like I said, without her, I probably wouldn't have made it.
Wow.
Tell you the truth.
That's amazing.
Story's phenomenal, man. Yeah.
Big ups to Mama Bibby, man. For real.
Absolutely.
Big ups to Mama Bibby for taking that role in his life like that and leading him to where what he doing today and how he, giving it back out to the youth. So yeah, big up to your moms, man.
She still get on my ass and stuff.
That's
I said,
right.
Mom, I'm 43 years old, man. I'm not a kid no more, Mom. So I mean, she still stays on me though. It's good
So,
though.
Bill, after that first recruiting letter, what follows after that? Notre Dame? Do all of them start coming, and do you boil it?
Yeah, everybody. Like I think they all started coming once I got to ninth grade, and they started. Everything started coming in. UCLA. I mean, my top three schools were Arizona, UCLA, and then Duke.
Wow.
So those are my top three. I knew I wasn't going to Duke. It was way too far.
Really? He says way too
UCLA,
far.
UCLA, yeah, it was way too far. Like I said, I went to Tucson. I'm an hour and 15 minutes from home. So I'd come back we drive back every weekend, go back, drive back home Friday, go back up Sunday. I was at home, but I wasn't really at home. And I think that kind of got me ready for the next level.
How did you pick Arizona? I mean, you got those schools.
I got recruited by Jesse Evans. Great coach. Coach Olson's probably one of the best coaches to ever, grip get on the NCAA court. And Bobby Olson and Lute Olson is probably the reason why that I decided to go there. I went on a recruiting trip there, and the way that she treated me was like, dang, I'm going to be okay here. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be by myself. I'm going to have somebody here that, something went down, I have somebody I could talk to and stuff like that. And that was one of the main reasons why, too. And, Coach Olson's a great coach. He lets you, play to your strengths. And, we had a lot of guys that could run athletic and stuff like that, and he let us play. And we're not like some of these coaches nowadays that tell you can't shoot or don't look at the basket and stuff like that, and hampers kids. And we were never hampered no matter what we did. We were in the first. I was a freshman going into the tournament the year we won it. We have a meeting. So I'm a freshman. I got Miles Simon, Mike Dickerson, Jason Terry. You got all these guys on the team. I'm trying not to step on no toes. So when I get in the thing, we play our first game. We almost lose our first game. So we get a meeting in front of the whole team. Coach Olson says, Mike, I need you to be more aggressive. Oh. And that's all I needed. So ever since he said that, it was, okay, now I can really go show what I could do.
Expound on that a little bit, though, because I think a lot of high school kids listening right now, and even some college kids that'll be listening to the show, tell us what that meant to hear you. Because I think every kid want to hear the college coach tell you, hey, man, I need you to ball. What was that?
But it wasn't even the ball. Just be more aggressive. You're passing up shots. You're not looking for your own shot. I mean, that means the world. Confidence in basketball is the world. If you take somebody's confidence, it's over with. There's nothing that could be done to help them, because every shot you take, looking over your shoulder, if I miss this shot, am I coming out the game? Even in the pros, some people have problems with that, and they can't play like that. So being in college, and someone gives you confidence, which every coach I think should, you have no limit to that. Now, like I said, the kids I coach, I don't care if you can't shoot a lick, but if I see you in the gym working on it, take that shot. I don't care how many times you miss. If you're working on it. Now I come to the shoot around, you ain't working on it, you can't take that shot.
But what would you tell a kid who's lost that confidence? What would you tell that kid?
It probably couldn't come from me. It would have to come from the person who took it. Because I mean, I could tell you whatever. I could tell you whatever once I'm blue in the face. But if I go to a game and my coach tell me not to shoot the ball, I'm not gonna shoot the ball because I don't want to come out the game. Wow. But look, he's gonna take you out anyway.
That's right. That's the game, right?
Yeah, so you got to play basketball. I mean, they recruited you for a reason. Do what they do. If you miss a shot and he thinks it's a bad shot, take him out. That's what I told you. Play basketball. You don't like what you're doing, just play. If you make a shot, there's nothing he can say. You take those shots and you make them, there's nothing he can say.
Got that right.
But when you don't have that confidence, and you take the shot and it's kind of iffy shot, you're gonna miss it. You know what I mean? So I mean, it messes with kids' confidence and messes up kids' lives.
Yeah.
I tell you, man, that was so real what you just said. And I never thought about it in that way until you said it. But the guy that took that confidence away is the guy that needs to get that confidence back. Man, that's so
That's the only way you're going to get it.
Wow.
That's the only way you're going to get it. Because he has kind of control over him to where I'm the coach. I don't like what you're doing. You're going to do what I say or you're going to sit down.
Right.
As a kid looking to be a professional athlete or maybe go overseas or play, you're going to do what the coach says. And if you don't, now you look like an asshole. Oh, he doesn't listen. He doesn't do this. He talks back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, the kid's going to do whatever he has to take to get by.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that's why you see some kids that don't, that don't excel until later on, maybe after college, go to the G League and excel. You know what I mean? You never know what happens, goes through the way on their way up.
Absolutely. So now, man, you're McDonald's All-American, doing your thing. You playing in the game. Kobe, what was that like, playing in that McDonald's game?
We got our ass kicked. The teams were unfair. I know that.
It was lopsided, Mike.
Yeah, it was bad. They had like 3 or 4 pros that came out of high school.
Damn.
They had Kobe Bryant. They had Jermaine O'Neal. They had Steve Jackson. They had Shaheen Holloway. They had Willie Dirch that was from New York. They have, you could go all the way down the line. I might be missing some people, but their team was stacked, like stacked.
Who was on your team?
You're gonna have to look it up. I remember Mateen Cleaves. Mateen Cleaves played with me in Sacramento, so we were the 2 out of 3 top point guards in the country. Us 2 were together, but there wasn't much after that. We had Corey Benjamin. He was from California.
Mm-hmm.
It was tough on our side. It was tough.
I think Corey Benjamin wound up playing for the Bulls, right?
Yeah, he played for a little bit too. We went to Nike camp and I just started. I was throwing him lobs from everywhere. He could jump out the gym. I was just throwing lobs everywhere, and ever since then he's like, I'm going wherever games you go to, I'm going to. So he played. We played you only get 2 tournaments, like 2 games to play, and he came to both of them with me. And we were just acting a fool, throwing lobs and all that stuff like that. So, it was fun. And he ended up going to Oregon State. He got drafted by the Bulls. I don't know if he stuck long, but I don't know how many years he stuck, but it was rough.
So, man, you get to Arizona, and tell me what's the hype around that team. Your freshman year, when you get there on campus, like, is there a buzz? Like, man, I think we got some here with these guys.
I think so, because I think they had everybody. They had most of the people coming back. Mm-hmm. They had, Miles Simon, Mike Dickerson, AJ Brownman, Jason Terry. They had 2. Eugene Edgerton came in from New Orleans with me. Mm-hmm. We had 2 other freshmen that came in, but we expected to do good, but I think we ended up getting like 5th or 6th in the Pac-10 back then. Mm-hmm. We ended up getting a good seed. We were hoping to make the tournament. And so we ended up getting the 4 seed. And we were surprised by that. And the route we took, it was a tough route, but we did what we had to do. We beat 3 number 1s.
Was y'all surprised in a good way or a bad way?
Like, we're surprised that we got that. Like, we were hoping we made the tournament.
Damn, just got in.
Yeah, we were hoping we made it.
Wow.
But when they gave us the number 4 seed, we was like, "Shit, we'll take that." So, you know what I mean?
I was like, "We in this, baby. Let's get it."
Yeah, so we took that. We ended up playing 2 smaller schools at first, which we almost lost both of those games. And I think we just got right. We got hot at the right time. We were down halftime. College of Charleston and there was another team that we played. I forget what the name of the team was, but we almost lost those 2 games.
Yeah, College of Charleston was good.
Yeah, they were tough too. They had point guard that went to
the league, played for the Indiana Pacers.
Yeah, and I forget his name. My thought is
I forgot his name too,
right
Mike. I forgot his name too. But he was a big guard though, like about 6'5".
Yeah, he was tough. He was tough, especially then. And then we ended up playing Kansas after that. And they were undefeated at the time.
Yeah.
And so like I said, we got hot at the right time and beat them. Then we beat Providence. Then we beat North Carolina. And then we ended up playing Kentucky in the championship, which nobody thought we had a chance to win anyway. So, we coming in with our backs, we're not really our backs against the wall, but nothing to lose. No one really expected us.
I actually remember those games. First of all, very guard-oriented, but y'all were hot though. Like
hot.
y'all would.
That's all it really takes in the tournament is get hot at the right time, and you push through. You know what I mean? So you've seen some teams that happen in this past year. You get hot at the right time. You could be the best team in the country all year, but it don't matter. You get to the tournament, it's one and done. Pressure. Cracks pipes.
Miles Simon, to me, when I was looking at him doing that run, like he was like, it was like his confidence, like he he overplayed than what people projecting him to be. Like he played unbelievable, man.
He did. He played great. He got the MVP of the tournament. But that's the way Miles played. He had a lot of confidence in himself.
Yep.
He never had to worry about that. And he was our main guy. Everybody knew that. You know what I mean? So we kind of rallied behind him. You know, a great supporting role.
Yeah.
Dickerson, JT, pros. I mean, we did what we had to do. You know, Miles did what he had to do, and we followed behind. Yeah.
Dickerson was one of my other favorite players on that team, man. It's just sad that his career got cut short by that little health scare he had. That wasn't a heart thing.
I think he did something with his groin because he was in Memphis. We ended up playing in Vancouver together for 2 years, and then they traded me, and then he ended up staying there, and then I think he signed a long deal contract, ended up tearing his bone, I think, off his muscle or something. He couldn't play anymore. I think he ended up playing like maybe 7 years, maybe. I'm not sure. 7 to 9, I'm not sure.
So, man, you go to Arizona, they got all these guards, and you a guard. What made you say this is the spot for me?
Just Coach Olsen. I knew that he was going to let me do what I want to do. He wanted me bad, and I just figured the way he coached and go to the games and what kind of person he was. That's the type of coach I wanted to be around. And my plan would have taken care of itself. If I didn't start, I'd work myself into the starting lineup. You know what I mean? Because that's what I wanted to do. I got to the first day at U of A. I ended up meeting another freshman. His name was Josh Pastner. He's a coach of Georgia Tech now. So we got there, and he worked with me with my shot from the first day I was there. We ended up shooting, just me and him, 300 makes a day. Everything was makes. Everything got to be makes, Mike. We can't get in the gym today. Let's go to the elementary school. We'll get up 25 makes, 50 makes, just so we can say we did something. And he kind of instilled that work ethic in me too. Of I need to get my shots in, and snap your wrist, shoot it up. So he had me really rolling with my comment. I was like in high school, I wasn't a great shooter. I could score. So once I got to college, he helped me work on my shot to make my jumper, fearsome.
Yeah, your shit was wet, baby. Your shit was wet.
I worked hard on it, man. I worked hard. I worked my ass off on it. I worked hard, man.
So, man, you got a successful freshman year. What was that competition like in practice, though? I would have loved to have seen some of y'all practices.
It was good. Like I said, I'd always be against Terry. So, the older guy, quick. We used to always just go against it. It was fun. Because we felt like we're playing against the best kids in the country already. So there's nothing that you could do against us that could do anything. So, I think that's what made it better, how good we were as a team. That's what made us good when we came to the games.
But not just y'all practices, but y'all conference was stacked with, we talking about J.R. Henderson, Eddie House, Brevin Knight, Vannon Davis, Jelani McCoy.
Roger Rhodes.
It was tough. That's why I said, that's why I think we had such a good seed, because of how tough our conference was. I think we had maybe 6 teams make the make the tournament that year. So I think that's what made it good for us.
Do you still think, because I recognize, and you talked a little bit about it earlier, that they look at Arizona and really just, it's the Pac-12 now. Why do you think the conference doesn't get the respect that it deserves?
I don't know. Because like I said, it goes back to the conferences that they have already. That's been good. Mm-hmm. Kentucky's and the Dukes, and Kentucky's not winning games, but you still get 2 or 3, 4 guys off, go to the NBA in the first round. You know what I mean? So I don't know what it is. I can't. I think like a real basketball person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can't comprehend this other stuff. And it's going to be this way. Let's take them. I can't comprehend that. I need to see you win. Right. And I need to see you do this. I need to see if you can do this in order to have faith in it. I can't just, he went to the school. Let's give him a chance.
Well, hey, Mike, we got this thing, man, we call halftime. And what we is, man, we going to throw some quick hitters at you, but we specialized a special quick hitters for you.
Just
in
for
particular. You. Just for you. Special. So,
all right.
As we know, We heard about your sneaker collection. We know that you are the Jordan man. We know. You know we was going to go down that road. Give us your top 3 favorite Jordans of all time, just to wear around.
11s. 11s are my favorite. I have to go with 1s and then 3. 11, 1, 3.
In that order.
In that order.
11, 1, 3. You got wheels on there, the 3s.
I love them 3s. You see the 3s behind me, man.
Yeah.
I love them 3s.
Yeah. 3s, yeah. You can't go wrong with
the most expensive or rarest pair you own?
I got Back to the Future shoe.
Oh, shit. The Mag?
Yeah, I got that.
Let me get that keypad to the
I think
to
that's the most
you got
expensive.
The combination to the keypad? Can you give us that?
It's in the back now. I took it out the other closet. I put
yeah, you got to put that in a safe, in a vault, in a volcano.
I do. You ain't lying. I got that. That's probably the most sought after one I have.
What was your favorite Jordan sneaker to play in?
I look back now and wondering how I played in those. You know what I mean? Because they're great walking around shoes, and the technology is a lot better now. But it was tough to play in. I love playing them. I think maybe the 13s was probably my favorite retro to play in. It just was. My foot's wider, so it worked good with my wide foot, and it had colors that haven't been out yet, so that's what made it even a plus on that.
Mm-hmm. How many custom pairs do you have?
I haven't counted. I keep all my game shoes. I've signed stuff for people and stuff like that. But I all the game shoes that I didn't wear in the game, my guys still got. Wow. So I got a lot of them.
So you wore a new pair every game?
No. I'd wear them. I didn't like wearing a new pair every game. I'd wear them probably like for 3, 4, 5 games, and then go to the next one.
Okay. Who got the best Jordan collection? You or Ray Allen?
I have to say, Ray got a lot of stuff I didn't get.
Now, is it vice versa for him too? Do you have a lot of stuff that he don't have?
I think so, but not as much fire as he got. He got a lot of 11s. He won the championship in Boston, so they made him an 11. They made him 11 for when he was in Miami. I never got any 11s made for him. I got like the 5s, the 2s, the 13s. The 9s, the 12s. So I got a lot of fire too, but he also does too. The one that I think put him over the top was him getting the 11s. That if you look his 11s up, they got some fire 11s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Top 5 rappers of all time.
Tupac, Biggie, Ice Cube, Scarface, and I'm trying to think.
That's a nasty foe right there, boy.
Yeah, it is.
That was that's what I grew up on. So I'm trying to think.
You better not say Will Smith, boy. I'm gonna tell you.
No. You see in the first 4 I named. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think.
Ain't got no East Coast in your list?
I love the East Coast too, but I put Biggie in there. Like I said, I grew up on the West Coast. I grew up in the middle of all that beef. So when all the beef was going on,
you gotta take a side.
You know what I mean?
That's right.
I'm on the West side. I take the West side. Right. You know what I mean? So let's go with that 4. I'm gonna go with that 4.
That 4 is tight though. My goodness.
Yeah, that's just stuff I grew up on.
Before I hit you with this last one, I just got to ask you, out of them 4 rappers, what was that joint that was playing in your song list, that song you played to get you going?
Anything from Tupac.
He said anything.
Anything he had on, I was playing. You know what I mean? My son, I listen to it so much. My son, my son's 23, all those kids like the new age rap and stuff. And he's like, no one really likes Pac no more. Like he's a hardcore Pac fan just from riding with me in the car to the games and stuff. So
that's right.
Anything Pac, I'm going.
Anything Pac. That's right.
Yeah,
Pac guy also. Yeah. 5 toughest point guards that you've ever played against.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Marbury.
Ooh, Stephon. Ooh. Damn.
Nash.
Whoa, I'm writing them down as you say them too.
Francis.
Ooh, the franchise.
Yeah, Stevie franchise.
Baron Davis.
BD was tough.
And Tony Parker.
Tony P.
Really? TP.
I mean,
really?
He wasn't that great of a shooter, but I mean, he could get to the basket whenever he wanted, get his little floater. I mean, he was tough. He was fast too.
Hey, I used to think dudes didn't play defense on him because he used to get layups when he first came into the league. I mean, layups.
I'm telling you,
he turned that corner, didn't he, Mike?
Yeah, but he's a great situation with Popovich. Popovich is going to put you in the right situation to succeed. And there was a lot of pick and rolls from far out on the court to where he could get a running start at you and get downhill. And I mean, that's where he succeeded at. And I mean, they were tough to guard.
Ooh, that's a
Here's what's so crazy, man. You know, I'm living in Texas now, and San Antonio. So of course, you know, Tony's a legend here, obviously. But down here, man, when they train kids on crossover moves, they train them with 3 crossovers. Either you learn the Iverson, the Tim Hardaway, or the Tony Parker crossover. I mean, that's what they hit you with.
He used to get away with so much stuff. I used to be like, he's carrying it. He's carrying. He would throw it over.
Yes.
I'm like, shit, that's a carry.
Hey, man, you can't bring the ball overhand over the nose looking like that. No.
Yeah.
That's right. He turned that thing all the way over. All the way over. So here we are, man. 1998. That's Mike Bibby's year, without a doubt. Draft pick 2nd overall. And man, just look at these names, man. You're number 2. The Candyman is number 1. Ray LaFrance, Antoine Jameson, Vince Carter, Tractor Trailer, Jason Williams, which I think that's interesting. You and Jason. Larry Hughes. Larry Hughes was smooth. Yeah. Dirk is in there. Paul Pierce. Michael Dickerson, who would play with you. What was that like, just knowing that my dream about to come true?
It kind of really didn't hit me until after I got drafted. You know, I didn't know I was going to, I mean, I only worked out for one team. I worked out for the Clippers. And, you know, as I'm leaving, they gave me like a suitcase full of stuff. So I'm like, shit, they got to be picking me if they're giving me all this stuff. I don't want it if they're not going to pick me. You know, so we don't find out till the day of the draft, you know, that they're going with Oliver Candy. So the draft is in Vancouver at the time. It's the first time the draft has been in Vancouver. And I remember I'm 19 years old. I'm about to turn 20. I just turned 20. I go and meet with the GM and the head coach of the team. And I'm sitting there, me and my mom. And they told me, I told them, I said, I don't want to play here. Like it's nothing against Vancouver. It's nothing against that. I, as a kid, I don't think I'm ready to move out the country as a kid. I'm still a kid, you know, and they said, you know what? Well, we're going to pick you anyway. So, I had to take it, you know, it wasn't, like I said, it's a dream come true. Yep. I'm not knocking a dream come true, but, you know, I'm looking for my mental state, you know, as far as, how am I going to be in Vancouver, Canada? And, you know, out of the country, in a different country for the first time, you know, in my life. How am I going to be able to be a professional, come to play every day? And I have my family there. And, you know, just being a dad, and, you know, as a kid growing up, you don't dream of that.
Right.
You know what I mean? You dream of playing for the Lakers or the Chicago Bulls or the New York Knicks. And, you know, you never know. I don't want to sound like I'm too, like at least I got drafted like that. But, just when you're put in that situation, it's hard because you don't know how it's going to turn out for you and your family.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's the way I felt. And, you know, I'm thankful that they picked me. I think everything happens for a reason. And, you know, going there and having Michael Heisley, rest in peace, he was the owner of the team at the time. And they were about to move. So I didn't get to play in Memphis. They were about to move. And he tells me, like, where do you, you know, we're going to trade you. Where would you like to go? And I told him, he said, give me your top 5 places where you want to play. So, you know, obviously, of course, I said Phoenix, Sacramento. I think I might have said Indiana, and I forget where else. But he's like, where's the number 1 place you want to play? And I said, no, I want to go to Sacramento. Just for the fans, because I remember we were playing in Vancouver. We're the last place team in the league. And we go to that game, 18,000 people in the stands.
What?
You know what I mean? I was like, I know they ain't here to see us. You know what I mean? So I mean, I just want to play in a situation like that to where fans can make something happen in the game and just the way they were. And, you know, like 2 weeks, like the day of the draft, I get a call. So someone calls my brother, like, hey, your brother just got traded to Sacramento. He's like, no, I don't think so. So I go, I'm at the gym. It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm at the gym shooting, and I come back to my car, and I have a phone number from Sacramento thing. I said, damn, it must have happened. And they did, and they did it for Jason Williams. And, you know, going there, I was kind of iffy because Jason Williams being a fan favorite, how he was Showtime. Very fundamental, easy, make the easy play guy. I wonder how I was going to fit in. And the fans welcomed me in. The team, what made it so much easier was the way the guys on the team welcomed me in. And they made me feel like I was there for 10 years. And that's what made it so easy for me to, you know, to go in there and play and be able to play. There was no egos on the team where we all knew Chris Webber was the alpha dog. And everybody, like I said, everybody following in line after him. And it was a very playful team. You know, I'm friends with mostly probably all the guys that was there when I was playing still. And, you know, that's what made it so easy for me to go in there and play and not have no worry.
Yeah, Doug Christie was one of my favorites on that team.
Yeah, he's a tough. Doug is a tough sucker, man. I love Doug. He's tough.
One of my guys.
He's tough. You could tell by the uppercut to Rick Fox. He was tough.
And didn't move after he did it. He stayed right there too. He didn't move.
Doug wants that action. Doug wants that action.
I'm on Twitter, right, scrolling, see if I can see what, you know, if you dropping something, if somebody hitting up Mike Bibby or whatever. 2002 picture come up with the whole squad putting up the middle finger. What was that about?
I forget who said that.
I mean, everybody was doing it. You got Bobby Jackson doing it. Yeah.
It might have been Vladdy that set it up. I'm not sure who set it up, but we were taking team picture, and everybody just said, throw it the middle finger, and everybody just did it. I don't even know why we did it, to tell you the truth.
That's classic. That's a classic picture to this day right now. It blows up Twitter, man, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
For real.
That's funny.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, man, you down here in Sacramento. Like you said, you got C. Webb, and I mean, Rick Alderman and Coach back Eric Musselman, which is interesting. You said earlier, you said you wanted to go to Sacramento, but I always thought, I didn't think, like, why would you want to go to Sacramento? Because it's like, was it proximity? Because it was close back to home? Or, I mean.
It was just the way they played. I mean, I like to play. I mean, there was, when I got to my first practice, I cut through the paint one time, and, you know, I get my half-ass cut, but not thinking I'm getting the ball. Ball hits me in the head. You know what I mean?
Who do it?
Either Webb or Vladdy, one of the two. And you know, I remember Coach Carrill, you know, started Princeton offense and all that stuff. He was like, hey, you better turn around. These guys will pass the ball and hit you in the head if you're not ready. So once then I knew that, you know, cut for a reason and all that stuff. So, I mean, it was good. And I just knew that the style of play that they did, everybody's going to be involved. You know what I mean? And it's not going to be a guy that's going to be sitting on the ball and you're standing around. And that's what made it so good. You could never plan for us because we didn't have no plays. We had our set plays, but everything was reads that we did. Almost everything we did was reads. And you don't know what we're going to do, so it's going to be hard to go and shoot around and know if we back cut or slip or come back off. So, and it was hard to guard us.
Wow. And then you had Bobby Jackson on that team, which was a straight underdog. Like, he was just like, okay, I'm smaller, but watch me work.
Yeah, he was tough. Bobby was tough. You know, I mean, I was giving him about 5'9".
Yeah.
I'm just messing. He's a lot shorter than me, but he was a dog out there. He'd fight.
Yep.
I mean, he was him and Doug were our best defensive players, and you know, Bobby's hot.
I always say he was a Patrick Beverly before Patrick Beverly.
Bobby was Bobby. Bobby was scoring that thing too. You know what I'm saying? Bobby, he used to score that thing. He used to call him Benny Johnson.
Oh, for real?
You know, he, like a little microwave, because he come in, he looking to shoot first. You know what I mean? Everybody else,
yeah,
he was looking. He
yeah.
came in. He was known. He's going to get his points up, get his shots up. So,
Wow.
I mean, he was a dog on both ends. When Doug was out the game, we put Bobby on Kobe. I mean, just stuff like that. Just because Bobby's going to be physical with him. Bobby's quick, feisty. I mean, he's bother you and all that stuff too. So,
Speaking of that, man, that deal with Kobe, you guys have a 2001-2002 season, 61 wins, go to the Western Conference Finals. Probably one of the most classic series in all of NBA history.
yes.
Talk about that series for a moment.
It was tough. I think that year, we were the best team in the league that year. I know we were the best team in the year, actually. I mean, we lost at the end. I mean, I think we had them down. I think they were getting our champagne bottles ready for us, in LA. And, I think Robert Horry hits an amazing shot. I mean, put us away, but I think that might have took the air out of us. But I think, there was other games that we still could have won. We went to Game 7 and we didn't have it that night.
Yeah.
And that was one of the nights, very few nights that we didn't have it. We didn't shoot well from the 3-point line. I think we shot under 50% from the free throw line. But it wasn't good for us. But I know we were the best team in the league that year for sure.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, y'all probably have one of the most complete teams that I have seen from top to bottom. I mean, from the bench.
Yeah.
I mean, people forget that it wasn't just C. Webb and you and Bobby.
Asia.
I mean, y'all had Pager. I mean, y'all had gunners and scorers and.
We had a lot of good guys too, man. I mean, the thing that made it so good is that everybody was a good person. Ego problem, whatever. There was never any of that on this team from top to bottom.
Bib, we always ask people this. I'm looking at the draft day picture. I see you with the gray suit on. You looking like a Wells Fargo banker. I see you holding up.
That's the only suit I've ever owned.
Get out of here! You better stop it.
I don't wear suits, man. I'm a sweatsuit guy. I wear sweatsuits anywhere.
So I know Mama Bibby had to help you go pick that out.
She took me to a place called the Clothery. You ever heard of a place called the Clothery? It's at a mall out here. So it's at the little Rich Mall out here, and I just went. They tailored me for a suit, and I just wore that.
You just wore that.
Didn't wear it again.
What?
I'm not suits ain't for me. I don't do suits at all.
Oh, you like AI? You like AI in that part?
Yeah, sure. I mean, he's the one that set it up for all of us. He's the one that had everybody wearing jerseys, do-rags, and hats, cornrows, and stuff like that. So he kind of set the tempo for everybody.
Yeah.
So you guys continue to have, man, great seasons in Sacramento. We had a guest on a couple of weeks ago by the name of Ron Artest.
Uh-huh.
Your former teammate.
He's special.
Yes,
he's
talk
about that, man. Talk about Ron and what was that experience like?
I mean, it was good. Ron's gonna be Ron. Ron's his own person. He does what he wants. I think he does what you will let him get away with.
Mm.
And everybody was scared of him. That's why he was able to do what he wanted.
I mean, they were scared to just talk to him?
They're scared to, like, if he did something that he wasn't supposed to do, they'll be scared to tell him. So he'd do some other shit to where, unless they ain't going to tell me that's wrong, I'm going to keep doing it. You know what I mean? That's just the way Ron was. And people were just scared. People were scared to say stuff to him.
Wow. And I guess you seeing this, I know you like, damn, y'all ain't going to say nothing to him, huh? Like,
I put him behind, let him do what he wanted to do. As long as he came to play, that's all that mattered. And I know he was going to come and do what he had to do. Like Ron, I got a few stories about Ron. He got traded to our team. I think we might have been in Boston or Indiana, somewhere East Coast. And he comes on there with like a little suit jacket and, like white tennis shoes and stuff like that. So we seen him, everybody looking like, damn, okay. So we get to the game and he wearing the same shoes that he was wearing with his suit.
You better stop it, Mike. You better stop it, Mike.
And we were just like, man, we just let him be. And then he wore them home after the game too. So I mean, he's Ron. That's what I'm saying. Ron's special. Like me and Ron still talk to this day. I love Ron. Like, was a great teammate. go to war with you. And he one day he came to the game in a Formula One race car. His
First
wife
of all,
was
where did
sitting
he get it
behind
from?
him. It had two seats, but one was in the front and one was in the back, so it wasn't side by side. And they had on helmets.
What?
Yes, and he drove that to the game. You can't do nothing but laugh because it's Ron.
Right,
You know what I
right.
mean? It's like you can't say nothing because it's Ron. He's okay. He gets the pass to do that.
When he pulled out, what were you thinking though? When he
I just laughed. I said, come look at this. I told everybody come in the locker, come look at this. Come look at this.
so
What?
man, I think that's what's so great, man, about when we talk to guys like you and other guys, man. I think sometimes we folks don't know the human side
Mm-hmm.
of you guys, man. It's like crazy stuff happen in the league too,
Yeah, all the time too. They're all regular people. They have a little bit more money. That's it.
I tell you. So, man, now you're still in Sacramento, but you get a new coach. Eric Musselman comes in. Did that affect your game, change your game in any way? Wanting to be in Sacramento anymore?
No, I just, I was kind of the highest scorer on the team. I just played my role. And, like I said, I was playing for myself, playing for the fans, regardless who they brought in to coach me. I was going to give them my all every time I got out there. And, that was it. They decided, like when they traded me, I didn't want to leave there, but it was time for Kings to move on and for me to move on. So, I didn't want to leave, but it was time to go, So, like I said, my kids grew up there in Sacramento. I have a lot of friends still from Sacramento, just from, around being in the neighborhoods and stuff like that. But, I'm very thankful for my time in Sacramento. I think that's what made me the type of player and to get my recognition to this day.
So talk to us a little bit about you now. The trade happens. You're moving to Atlanta. Woodson's your coach. When it's time to come for that move, and you spoke a little bit about it, said, it was time for you to move on. Did you begin to think at this stage of my career, it's just straight business now?
I knew it was. I knew from the start. But when I was supposed to get traded, like when I was in Sacramento, I was supposed to get traded to Lakers. So I talked to I got on the phone with Kobe. We had talks, but something fell through. And then I was supposed to get traded to Cleveland with LeBron. There was 2 years in a row I was supposed to get traded. So the year I was supposed to do it 1 year. The year before I really got traded, I was supposed to go to Cleveland. The next year I was supposed to go to Cleveland again. And then I woke up out of a nap, and my son comes running like, "Dad, you just got traded." I'm like, "What?" And it's across. I called my agent like, "Hey, Dave, I just got traded." He's like, No, you got to wait till. I said, "Dave, that shit's on ESPN.
Right.
That shit's on the bottom of ESPN." He said, "Where they trade to?" I said, "Atlanta." Because Atlanta never came into talks with me, so I never even thought I'd ever be there. There was Cleveland and some other teams that were talking about trading, but it was never Atlanta. And like I said, Atlanta, going there with Mike Woodson. Mike Woodson is one of the best coaches I ever had, to where he's a player's coach. He ask you how you feel. He's a good guy, joke around with you and stuff like that. And for me to go to Atlanta, it was a whole new, different role I had. So now I'm the oldest on the team now. We got Josh Smith, Joe Johnson, Al Horford, Josh Childress, Marvin Williams, AC Law, Mark. So we're going all the way down the line. And now I'm the oldest guy. So now I got to start taking that Vlade Divac role with these guys. And wherever we go, let's go to the mall. Let's go have, some lunch. Everybody come. 5, 6, 7, 8 of us go to lunch. You know what I mean? Go to the mall. Let's walk around the mall, stuff like that. And got the camaraderie with everybody. I think that's what made us a better team, because we improved. The first year I was there for half the year, improved from a 35, and I think we were 35 and 47 to 35 and 47 when I got there. And we ended up being, I think, like 59 and 58 and maybe 24 or 59 and 23 from the last year I was there. So, it just the stuff that we made so much gains in that just from being
Mm-hmm.
with each other so much and playing cards on the plane and sitting around shooting the shit on the plane, around one table, just having fun, talking and stuff like that. Like I said, going to the mall, going to lunches, going to dinner. I think that's what made us get over the top. We can never really make any noise in the playoffs. We did that one year, but other than that, we got swept by Orlando one year. I think we beat the Bucks in 7 one year, but we made so much of a jump to where they were at before to where when I left. And I felt like, I'm not saying everything had to do with me, but I think a lot of it had nothing to do with playing either. I think a lot of it had to do with just making everybody feel the same stuff how we felt in Sacramento.
And that camaraderie. And I think that builds through trust once y'all get out on the floor. Like, man, I was just hanging out with him at the movies and we was just talking about whatever. And we get out on the court, I'm going to go hard for him.
That's the way it was. I mean, like I said, a lot of the guys were young, way younger than me. Al Hoffar had just came out, was a rookie when my first year there. I think I made an impact on being in Atlanta.
Was you happy for your boy Jeff Teague for winning one with
I hit him up. I told him congratulations. I mean, I love Jeff. I remember Jeff. Jeff came in his rookie year, and I'm in my about 11th, 12th season, so I'm at practice trying to, I'm cooling through. I'm trying to slide through practice easy, no extra hard work or nothing like that. And we're running through the stuff. And he's picking me up full court. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? And he was like, Coach wanted me to pick you up full court. I said, man, I just threw the ball.
Somebody else, man, get the hell off me, man. I'm not going to deal with this today.
Yeah, I got to say some of the energy I have for this game.
Right. How you doing? 94 feet in practice.
I couldn't believe it.
How many years did you play in Atlanta?
14. Oh, in Atlanta, I played 3.5.
Them 3 got them boys paid.
Yeah, I mean, but
absolutely.
I think, like I said, I think it turned the whole organization and everything around being there at that time. I mean, we started to win. More people started to come out to the games and stuff, and it kind of blew up for us out there.
How was that transition, though, man? You go from Sacramento to the ATL.
It was different. Sacramento's a lot smaller. Just different people, totally different people. You know what I mean? Like to where a lot of celebrities will be at the game, every game in Atlanta on the courts and stuff like that. You see celebrities around town all the time. I mean, it was just a whole different vibe from Sacramento in general.
I say that because you get the impression that you're not that type of guy. You're not out in the clubs,
right,
hanging. But Atlanta's a party city.
It is. I mean, like I said, it's crazy out there. I tell everybody all the time, it's wild out there. Like there's a lot of stuff going on. Like I said, that's where I think like all the movie stars, celebrities, rappers, everybody's out there. That's what people want to be around. So, everybody's trying to, shine on that, whoever they can shine on. And I mean, it was just, like I said, a different look. Like I said, I love my time in Atlanta. Met a lot of friends out in Atlanta too, as well, that I'm still friends with to this day. So, I mean, it was a great situation for me. I think it just helped me get to my next level in life, really.
So you go from hot Atlanta.
I went to Washington.
Did you go to Washington first?
They traded me to the Wizards. I ended up playing 2 games for the Wizards, and then I got out of my contract and went to Miami for like 4 months.
Now, how did that work? Was that your agent working behind the scenes on that?
We were trying, like, when you get to that age, you try to get to a team that's going to, chase a championship. It was either Lakers or the Heat or the Spurs. Those are the 3 teams I was trying to get to. And we ended up playing Miami 1 game. Like one of the 2 games I was there, we ended up playing Miami. And my brother-in-law at the time was on the team, Eddie House. And I told him, I said, I'm trying to come here. And he's like, well, shit, let me talk to them. So now everybody in the game's like, what you trying to do? You know what I mean? So I said, shit. That's what I said.
Move.
You know what I mean? And it gave me, I was there for probably a week. I was probably there in Washington for a week. And, I thought I still had enough left in the tank to, last a couple more years and stuff like that. That's why I wanted to move on and maybe try to play for a championship team maybe 2 or 3 years. That's why I left Washington. And that had nothing to do with, the guys. And going in there, I think they wanted me to be kind of like a person for John Wall to mentor to him. I didn't want that to be my role yet. I thought I still had something left.
Yeah.
So that's why I decided to leave Washington. It had nothing to do with the team being young, a lot of losses. It had nothing to do with that. It was just I felt I had more to give than that at that time.
So now you in Miami. You got these mega stars. I ain't gonna say superstars. You got mega stars. You got LeBron. You got D Wade. You got Bosh. What was the practices like? The work ethic. What was the locker room like with those guys?
Well, you can't mention Miami without mentioning Pat Riley. So with Pat Riley, he's I watched him in the 80s growing up playing ball. I watched that. I mean, I was very intimidated. I don't get intimidated by anybody. He walked around. I was intimidated. I was like, damn, that's Pat Riley. And just his demeanor and everything, how he carries himself, it's like
he's a boss.
You already know he's a boss. So you know what I mean. So I remember the first day I got there. I walk in late because I did my physical and all that stuff, and he's talking to all the guys on the bench, and he's out the other end of the course. I got to walk the whole court to all the guys so everybody could see me, and then all of a sudden he just turns around like this, like. I'm like, oh shit. I just went and sat on the left side of the corner, and that was it. You know what I mean? But he, like a great, like I said, great coach, great, great person. You know what I mean? He knew everything that's going on, and the organization's run top notch. Just the body fat testing every week. You got to get your weight lifting in. If your body fat doesn't reach and your weight don't reach the amount they want, then you got to get on treadmill. You got to do extra cardio. You got to do extra stuff and stuff like that. So it was just like I said, another situation that I wasn't used to again. Just in a different situation.
That was true that they said when Antoine Walker went there, he had Antoine Walker testing his body fat and shit too.
They do it every week. If it ain't up to par, you probably won't play.
Oh man.
It's for real. Some of the organizations are for real.
So what was your impressions of D Wade and LeBron? I
love them guys. Like I said, I could say I played with maybe one of the top 3 players that ever played the game, and one of the top 6, 7 players D Wade to play the game. And just to get an opportunity like that, it was great for me. I think. I would never look back, and again, it wasn't the greatest of my career. It wasn't a situation that I'd probably put myself in again. I don't want to say the way I was used, but just the situation I was in. Every shot was a pressure shot. Every shot I had to make. And I wasn't used to playing like that, and I knew that wasn't for me. And so I think that kind of got me done to where I think I'm done playing. I don't want to play anymore. And then Mike Woodson is an assistant coach in New York. And he was like, Mike, come play one more year. I was like, Woody, I'm done. I'm done. I'm ready to relax. And he was like, just come play one more year. So he had me out there for that 1 year. Got to play with another star, Carmelo Anthony. Those New York fans are tough. They don't play. I remember it was 0-0. Tip ball go up. We missed the first shot. They were like, boo. I'm like, damn, the game just started. You know what I mean? So I'm like, dang. You know what I mean? But like I said, I decided playing the Mecca basketball. It's great. I had a great time playing there, like playing with Melo. And I remember got a rebound. Melo passed me the ball. I said, Melo, I'm 35 years old. I can't do shit. But I was dead serious though. I told him, I was like, Melo, I can't make plays for you no more. You're our best player. You're gonna make plays for us. I can't do it no more.
Right.
And he looked at me and like he understood, like, okay, I got you. You know what I mean? So I got respect for Melo. Like I told him, they said he couldn't play no more. That's bullshit. You know what I mean? They still want to try to keep him down. Then he's out there killing. But
Melo was a walking 18 points.
Automatically.
18, 20. Walking automatically.
You can't guard him. You know what I mean? So, I just knew I knew what type of guy he was, and very humble, and, Baltimore guy. And he's a great guy. I love Melo.
Yeah.
Glad I got a chance to play with him too as well. So,
Bib, if we wrote down the names of the people that you didn't play with, man, you didn't play with some dudes, man, like top 10 dudes.
Yeah, but that's how it goes, man.
But there's one guy who's probably the best player you ever played with, Linsanity.
Yeah, I mean, it was different. It was different. I mean, like, it's crazy because the situation came into play because we were in Oakland. So you got my old ass, you got Baron Davis' old ass. We're the only 2-point guards you got. You know what I mean? And
right,
he's hurt. I really don't even want to play anymore.
right.
So you got us as your 2-point guards. You know what I mean? So so I ended up hurting my back in Golden State, and I think B Diddy was playing. He might have hurt his knee or hurt his back too, and they brought him in to play to help with that game. And we ended. I think Baron ended up getting hurt, and so we had to end up bringing Jeremy back with us. But they weren't going to bring him back after that game, and he ended up playing and going berserk. Like, I mean, it was crazy. Just to be there and see that, you have to be there to see it. Just how it was.
He went off against Deron Williams, right, from Utah.
He was killing everybody he went against. It didn't matter who it was. He got the best. He got one of the best 3 games in NBA history of your 4 years of your first career.
Yes.
I forget, they had Michael Jordan up there. They had, another 2 other Hall of Famers up there with him, and like the best 4 games ever. And I mean, you just had to be there to see it. It was crazy the way it was. I mean, like the Garden was rocking. Everybody, like, you had to see there to believe it.
And then that just boosted his confidence up, and the boy signed a contract just crazy then.
Yeah, he did. I mean, like, I think he deserved it. He went and show people what he could do. You know what I mean? And that's all that matters. You got to go out there and show you can play. They thought he could play. They gave him the money. Now it's up to you what you could do.
So how and when did you was alluding to it a little bit that you knew it was time to hang it up? Because when you think about it, man, you had, I mean, you go from draft night to a team you didn't want to really be on, but you handled that to a winning team. You got this big time shoe Jordan contract, because I say you're like the originators of the Jordan shoe contract.
Yeah, I'm one of them. Yes.
Yeah, with your name on your shit.
How did you stay focused and motivated over your long career, 14 years with the team, the politics, the coaching styles, and the ultimate question I'm asking you is, man, did you think we saw the best version of Mike Bibby?
I mean, I think there's been times that could have been better. Better decisions when you're younger. I used to have a lot of people around me, 20, 30 people around me all times and stuff like that. I just think, you go back, you can make better decisions. And if I could do it, there's a lot of decisions that I would turn around and make better. But I knew I didn't have that drive anymore that I once had when I was really playing, where I would work out and get ready and can't wait for the season. It was gone. You know what I mean? So that's when I knew it, and that's when I knew it was time for me to be done.
That hunger.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happens, man.
I want to applaud you too, just from everything that you went through from your mental standpoint of handling all that shit, Mike. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, you was traded from this team, knowing if I want to play again and all of this, but you handled that mentally strong, man.
My mind, I'm a very strong-minded person. Like, if I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it. Whether it's I fail 50 times and then get it the 51st time, I'm gonna do it. Yeah. So that's just the way I've always been. And like I said, I'm gonna go out there and work my ass off, work hard, and do this and get this done. I'm doing it. Nothing's gonna stop me.
Right.
And that's just the way that I had that mentality ever since I was in, high school.
Yeah.
That's where it got me to where I'm at today.
So you in the post era of your life. You got a son playing NCAA basketball. What is it like being a father, going through everything that you've been through? What do you share with your son about that?
He's seen stuff because he wasn't a kid. I mean, he was a baby when I first got in the league. I mean, I had him in college. So, I mean, he isn't, I didn't have him when I was 34 years old, and he's seen me when I sucked. You know what I mean? So he's been there through the thick and thin. He's seen me in college. He's seen me in Sacramento days. He's seen me in Atlanta. So he's seen that. For your kids, you always want the best for them. You know what I mean? You can only give them so much, but you want the best for them.
I tell you this, Mike, I mean, we done had you for a long time, man, and we do want to, let you get back to your family. But just a couple of more questions that we want to ask you about. One is, I want to ask this one, then my man Agee is going to hit you with our final question for you. But we want to talk about the big three. You going back and play. What motivated that? But also, man, Mike Bibby's become the Incredible Hulk. Where'd that come from?
I love lifting weights, man. I love lifting weights. I never nothing else to do. I've always lifted weights my whole year. Like when I was in Sacramento, I used to lift weights all the time and come back in the summer. And they used to be like, Mike, you can't lift like that. You look like a linebacker. So I'm like, but I told him, I said, I got it. I love lifting, so I don't know what you want me to do. You know what I mean? So like back then it was frowned upon to like lift weights. Right now it's different techniques that they do where you don't have to lift much weights, but I love lifting weights. I go home, I'll lift weights, play basketball, and shoot. You know what I mean? But I always kept my shot right to where it didn't affect my shot. I didn't lift heavy like that, but I kind of got big. That's just kind of the way I am. But I love lifting weights. I work out every day about 3 hours, 4 hours, just lift weights.
Damn.
Cardio and stuff like that. But I love doing it, man. I wouldn't change it for nothing else.
Well, we know Mike Bibby got some strong bones then, so hey, I had to look at a picture, look at you. I was like, that ain't Mike Bibby.
Right.
I'm like, that's not Mike Bibby.
I gained a lot of weight since playing, man. I gained a lot of weight.
His arm looked like one of the WWF dudes. Like,
see that picture, that picture. I don't know how they make it. Somebody seemed like, oh, I thought you were bigger than that from the picture. So, the picture, man, it's like I don't know what somebody did to it. They must have doctored it or something. I'm not big like that. They doctored it a little bit.
So the big three.
Yeah, Ice Cube comes down. There was 8 people that he picked. Me, Steve Jackson, Jermaine. You go down the line. Ice Cube comes. Like I said, I grew up listening to his music. Living legend, and he called me and asked me. I get a call from Ice Cube. I don't care what you tell me. It's yes. You know what I mean?
Yes.
He told me about the 3-on-3, and I just told him, my man, let me know what I got to do, and let me I got to pick my captain. I picked Iceman as my coach, and try to assemble a team that would compete and get to be good for the fans. And no one really knew how it was going to be till you got there. You know what I mean? Because some people came out of shape, think it was going to be easy. You guys came in shape, busting some ass. People went home and worked on their game the whole time. Even me, I was doing stuff, getting ready for it, just like I trained in the NBA, getting my shots up, dribbling, doing all that stuff. And because, it was on national TV, and you don't want to be embarrassed. Now you're seeing everybody talking about, oh, shit, what's he doing now? He looks bad. He can't play. So everybody started to work out and stuff like that. But then, I played for 2 more years after that. So I played 3 years total. And I got to the point again. I don't have that drive of getting ready anymore.
Don't have it.
You know what I mean? And I told him, I said, I'm done. I can't do it no more. It's great. It's fun. It's all the camaraderie. It's a first-class thing. They fly you in. They put you in a room. They take car service. They take care of his first top-notch thing, and it's just great to be around everybody again. It's a great
Cube
thing.
Did his thing with the big three, man. So last question, man. We gonna tidy you up, get you on up out of here. We done took up most of your time, but like I said, we blessed and honored for you to bless us with your presence, man.
Appreciate it.
What is the next chapter in Mike Bibby's hoop dream?
I'm trying to be a coach. I'm working hard to be a coach in the NBA. I'm taking the steps necessary. The NBA has a coaching program that they do that gets you ready with all the computers. You learn all the stuff that they say we're missing. You got all knowledge as a player, but now they got other guys that, can you do film? Can you put together a film for us? Can you a game-ready film? The NBA helps us with that. So I was in that program for a year. And, it's moving along slowly, but I'm not going to get down. I know my time will come. And, I work hard enough to do that. I want to see these kids be great, not just good, and genuinely care about these kids. You know what I mean? And make sure they're learning the right stuff. And, I just did the NBA Combine with, some of the top kids that win the draft, too, as well. So I got to coach a half. from the NBA executives, general managers, and stuff like that, coaches. And you meet kids out there, you learn how to do stuff. And I mean,
Yeah.
it's great. I think I got a lot of strengths, and I think my strength is like I could watch it practice, and I could watch what you're doing and show you what you're doing wrong, and get you better that way, and just sit on the outside looking in like that. But I think it's gonna be a great situation for me. Like I said, I'll tell you however long it takes. I'm gonna keep working my butt off till I get there.
Nothing about
Well,
going
brother,
back to
we
the
gon-
Wildcats?
I'd rather do, the NBA. There's too many rules in college, that you got to follow, and
Yeah.
you're only allowed to call. You could call me, but I can't call you. I'm too old to remember all that. I just want to go to practice, work you out, have this, and then go back home. So thank you for having me, man. Like I said, I looked up to you guys when I was growing up too, man. This shit, it's just unfortunate what happened. You know what I mean? But it's real life stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that y'all put that out there so kids can see. You might need to bring it up again and get it out there again so kids can really see what's going on. I mean, because I don't think there's ever been a documentary or a movie like that, up to this point.
I'm the gold of my era. I've been a trending topic. I'm as fly as a feather. My pocket's macroscopic. See, with time I get better. I'm always in the action, kid. Know I got it locked from Chicago where the toughest live. Concrete jungle, earn my stripes on the pavement there. You make it here, then you can make it anywhere. No comparison. Your game is embarrassing. No one can touch me. I'm all for going there again. Yeah, I think I'm ballin' like I'm Will Gates. I'm hoop dreaming, trying to fight against a sealed fate. More faith, think I'm ballin' like I'm Agee. I'm box office and one day they gon' have to pay me. Yeah, I think I'm ballin' like I'm Will Gates. I'm hoop dreaming, trying to fight against a sealed fate. More faith, think I'm ballin' like I'm Agee. I'm box office and one day they gon' have to pay me.
Hoop Dreams, the podcast, an Unlearning Network production. Written and produced by Arthur Agee, Will Gates, Matt Hoffar, with audio engineering from Matt Savage. For more episodes, check us out at www.unlearningnetwork.com.
Gotta be a dog to survive in this cold weather. Ice in my veins, no need for a warm sweater. I'm coming for it all, best believe I won't let up, yeah. Hey, I think I'm ballin' like I'm Will Gates. I'm hoop dreaming, trying to fight against a sealed fate. More faith, think I'm ballin' like I'm Agee. I'm box office and one day they gon' have to pay me. Yeah, I think I'm ballin' like I'm Will Gates. I'm hoop dreaming, trying to fight against a sealed fate. More faith, think I'm ballin' like I'm Agee. I'm box office and one day they gon' have to pay me. Yeah.